How's it going, everyone? Grant Henry here with Rise Magic. I hope you've been having a good day. I know I have. I actually finished my first 2 high peaks in the Adirondack Mountains. It was an 11.5 mile hike. It was a ton of fun. There's a bunch of amazing outlooks, gorgeous views, as you can probably see some of the pictures I took right here. But once those peaks and outlooks and ridges were over, there were some just boring parts because you're just hiking for 6 or 7 miles just through the trees. It gets boring, repetitive. And so with my mind on the game, thinking about what I can constantly be doing to improve, I thought, what can I do for magic? Now, I didn't bring any decks of cards on me or anything because when you're hiking 11.5 miles, you gotta pack light. And I already had a camera and everything, so unfortunately it didn't make the cut. But what I was able to do is some finger dexterity moves. And that is what we're gonna be going over today. That's what inspired this video. And honestly, it's a ton of fun. It's great to do whenever you don't have a deck of cards, just to keep your fingers loose, keep your fingers nimble. And if you're having problems with some of the more advanced moves, getting your fingers really used to moving independently and having this type of agility is really key. So if this is something that you like, I do have plenty more than what I'm going to be going over this video. Right now we're just going to be going over dexterity, but if you like this video, that'll let us know that you want to see more. So if you do, we would appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so my first finger dexterity exercise that we're going to do is what I like to call the Spock hands. Now, hopefully I don't get copyright striked for saying Spock. I don't know, things are kind of weird on YouTube nowadays. But essentially what it is just working on the motion and independence you have in between your fingers and each other, and etc. So, in order to do this, what you are going to do is take your hand, reach it out. You can do both of them, but I'm just doing one to show you guys. And you're going to start off by just doing the regular old Spock, live long and prosper sign. Now, if you don't know how to do this, or if you can't do this, that's okay. But do your absolute best. And what you're going to focus on is just moving your fingers independently of each other. So what I like to do is go, bring over my middle finger and have my first, bring it back, bring over the ring finger and have those be independent, close it up, go back into this W, close it up again, and just kind of go back and forth in between these different types of motions. All right, and that's really going to focus on just the individual muscle memory in between those fingers and really trying to get them to independently think between each other and allow your mind to make connections between your fingers as individuals rather than your hand as a whole. All right, on to number 2. Now, the second exercise that we are going to be going over is what I like to call just finger touches. So for this one, you are going to be just basically using your hand and taking your thumb and each one of your fingers and just going through and touching them one by one, just like that. Now that's if you're going to be starting simple. You can get up to a faster speed if you want. Keep on going quicker. And if you want, you can go and kind of try to call out in your head different fingers that you can go to, like first ring, pinky, middle, first ring, middle, pinky, middle, etc. If you really want to go to advanced mode, you can have a friend of yours call them out, and you can do vice versa if you have some sort of magician friend or something like that. But the faster you can go and doing them different hands and different fingers on each hand are really going to strengthen that mind-body connection between each individual finger and your brain. All right, so the third finger dexterity exercise I have is the finger crosses. So what you're going to be doing for this one is just going through and crossing both ways each finger that you can. And what you're going to be doing is just crossing those fingers and trying to do it both ways, just as many different ways as you can. Now what this is going to do is be stretching out your fingers as well as enhancing that mind-body connection with your hands. So I've talked about this mind-body connection a whole lot, but what this is actually going to do for you is make it easier to learn new flourishes. So rather than struggling through some YouTube tutorial or something like that and just really struggling to pick up the moves or figure out what's going on, having that mind-body connection between your fingers is going to make that learning process a lot easier for any slights, flourishes, anything else that you have. So stretching out your fingers but trying to cross them as much as you can both ways, and just focusing on doing it the same. Now just going back and forth like this is going to be the very first beginner mode that you're going to be going on. Just going like your pinky and your ring finger, your ring in your middle and your first, and just keeping on going back and forth. Same on both hands. Now a little bit more advanced is you're going to be wanting to do different fingers on both hands. Just still almost difficult for me to do, even crossing both at the same time, going back and forth like this. Ugh. See, I'm not even the best at this myself. I still work on it. But just going back and forth and just again strengthening that mind-body connection as well as stretching out your fingers. So it's really a mind-bending exercise. It's gonna really be confusing to pick up and keep on doing, especially at a high speed, but it'll be worth it in the long run. So I really hope you give that one a try. It's personally one of my favorites and what I find the most challenging to do. So get to it. All right, everyone, and that wraps up this video, except we have a bonus one. Now, I know the title says 3 finger dexterity exercises, but here at Rise Magic, we're all about going the extra mile for you. So we're throwing in a 4th and bonus one. Now, this is actually something that showed up on one of Dan and Dave's Trilogy TV and everything else. I don't really remember which one. I haven't watched it. I watched those quite a while ago. But this is kind of similar to the finger crossing exercise. But what you're going to do is just hold out your hands like this and just cross your fingers over both ways. So you're going to be taking one finger and putting it above, one finger below, and just curling it in. Then you're going to go do it with the next finger below and the next finger below. You're just going to keep on going down until you can do it as fast as you can. Now, if you want to get a little bit more advanced, you can go down and then you can go back up just like this. Or the most advanced, you can just kind of go back and forth to whatever fingers that your mind calls out or a friend calls out. And just keep on going. Try to do it as fast as you can and try to get those full extensions. This is going to strengthen both that mind-body connection as well as stretching them out, getting them loose. A lot of times before doing an intense session of practicing, I will just kind of try to go through just quickly up and down. And it's a lot of fun. It's easy to do. It gets your hands warmed up and ready to rock and roll. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that bonus one. And yeah, it's a really fun move. Give it a try. All right. So that were our three finger dexterity exercises that you can do to improve your cardistry or magic, as well as one bonus one just because we love you guys and we appreciate everything you're doing for us. Now, if you did enjoy this video and you want to see like hand strengthening exercises or hand flexibility exercises, feel free to click the like button just to let us know it's something you'd be interested in. But other than that, if you have any comments, questions, you want to let us know, anything at all, always feel free to comment down below. But other than that, subscribe if you haven't already. Grant Henry with Rise Magic, and I will see you in the next video. Unless Sharon is doing it, then you will see him. Other than that, have a good one. Peace.
And I've been trying to dig my way out of the ocean and punch a hole in the sky and float the